I was also encouraged to apply to grad school. And I thought at the end of undergrad, I thought I wanted to be a professor. I thought I wanted to be an academic. And my brother at the time was doing his PhD on the math side of things. And I guess I kind of looked up to him and saw him as an example of, it's a very respected thing to be highly educated, to be able to put those little letters beside your name. And I think I put a lot of value in that.
The letters beside your name.
Yeah. So I remember, I worked at the government where we work now. I had a student position at the end undergrad. And I remember my boss pulling me aside being like, do you want to actually work here? Like, I'll start the paperwork that could find you a way into the government. And I remember the time being like, hey, really appreciate it, but like, no, I want to stay in academia. And I had this attitude like, practical work. I wanted to do something more sophisticated and like be an academic. And I had this romantic idea about what that would be. After 2 years of being in grad school, I realized I did not want to be an academic. And I think my values and my priorities really changed. And instead of caring about other people thinking I was smart, I realized a lot of the more practical work you might do for the government or in the private sector just has a sort of real world impact. Whereas a lot of the conversations we were having in sociology seminars to me just seemed so insular and self-serving and circular and didn't really achieve anything. And so by the end of the second year of grad school, I'd finished my coursework, but I did not want to write my thesis. And then I got offered a job back where I had previously worked as a student. And I accepted that job, and I never finished my MA. I don't think I've ever said that on your channels or on this podcast or anything, but like the best thing I got out of that grad program was meeting you, I think.
Stop.
I got my MR degree. But yeah, once I got offered a full-time job back with the government, I jumped at that opportunity, and I didn't finish the MA.
And I think that that's a very practical response and another example of why, like, you don't need to have multiple degrees in college or university to be more successful or to be a better person or whatever, because it's just whatever opportunities present itself to you. So you were offered a job. You were offered a full-time job, which you no longer needed to finish your degree to get because they were giving it to you. So why would you need it, right?
Yeah. And I'd gone to grad school thinking I wanted to be an academic. And once I didn't want that anymore, I'm like, why am I really here, right?
So I think that that's very self-introspective to reflect on that and to think about that it wasn't just about like pleasing this idea of people think I'm smart because I have so many degrees, right? Like it was more about what made sense for you and what you realized that you wanted. So I think that that's a good lesson.
It took a lot of personal growth around that time. I changed a lot as a person in those years too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me personally, I never really saw going to grad school as something I wanted to brag or tell other people about. Because like I said, my family didn't have degrees. So your family did, right? Have multiple degrees, your older siblings. Mine, there wasn't a precedent for me to live up to. Sure. So maybe I'm kind of lucky in that like I wasn't feeling like I had to live up to anything. But I just wanted to do it for my own kind of self-satisfaction to finish my degree.
And yeah, if you're going to stay in grad school, you have to be doing it for yourself. You can't be doing it for other reasons. Like I remember I was already talking to someone who would have been my PhD supervisor at Ottawa U, and I had a conversation with them about their research. And I just so vividly remember them talking about how their research like makes them get out of bed in the morning because they care so much about it. Mm-hmm. And I remember leaving that meeting thinking like, I don't feel that at all.
Hollow taco.
Yeah, I get out of bed thinking about nail polish these days. All right.